What's up guys, welcome back to Manatee Gaming. Today we've got a brand new money making guide. I'm so excited to make this guide because I've been waiting for like a week or so to make this one, but you know, real life gets in the way. Anyway, today we're going to be showing you a really awesome way to make a ton of money. This money making method is fantastic because it is super AFK if you want it to be. It can be done on very low level accounts and makes you a ridiculous amount of money, so let's jump on in. Okay, like I said, this money making method is absolutely fantastic, guys. It is only requiring level 20 in your archaeology. It's pretty awesome. As you probably already know, I've made quite a few archaeology videos, and that's because archaeology is one of the best money making skills in the entire game. It's also my favorite skill in the entire game, but just because of the fact that there's so much involved with archaeology, it's not really just like grind this skill to 99 or grind this skill to 120. It has a lot going on, and there's also a lot of different ways to do it, and anyway, this is a great way to do it itself. So I'm going to run through your inventory setup. If you don't have everything I have here, that's okay, just kind of work towards it, but this is what I would recommend you to use for your entire inventory setup. We've got our Archaeologist Master outfit. This is something you really want to get. It's going to give you a ton of boosts, also teleports directly to where we are going, so that's going to be something that, yeah, you really want to have it if you don't. The Grace the Elves. Grace the Elves, you can either use this or the Dark Fasts of Grace. I don't have the dark one yet because I want to get it as a drop on my own, but even if you don't have the dark one, it's totally fine. You can honestly get away without using it just because the fact that your inventory will be full of artifacts well before you'd use 2,000 charges anyway, so it's not actually required here to have the dark one, and it's not actually probably not even going to help you. But this right here though is something that is required in the most basic form because it will make it so you can store all of these porters, and then you can just send all the artifacts and materials to your bank when you're able to, which will make it so you can chill here and do AFK. The Brooch of the Gods, you want to have this because this will give you extra of your blessings. That way you get more of the materials, your components. Also, the Grace of the Elves is going to give you the Sarin Spirits, which is obviously something you're going to want as well to make some extra money while you're doing this, which, by the way, in this money making guide and everything, I have not included any value that you would be getting from Sarin Spirits, so Sarin Spirit just adds on to this. There is no required item for your pocket slots, so feel free to put whatever you want here. And the Balarax Sash Brush, however you even say that. So the Sash Brush is going to be something you really want to get if you don't have it. It's going to give you a ton of different benefits. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can check it out right here. Then we've got our Matic. So obviously, most of you are not going to have a Guildmaster Tony Matic because these are about 5 billion right now, but just use the best Matic you have, and then make sure you put something that is as close to as possible to Hone 6 Prosper and then Fortune 3 Imp Soul 3, because that is what you want to have on pretty much all of your gathering things. I'm not really sure if there's anything you would not want to have that on, but anyway, these are going to be fantastic, give you extra clue scrolls, make you skill faster, duplicate your resources, and also send a bunch to your bank. And to go along with Imp Soul, we also have our Elven Ritual Shard in here because Elven Ritual Shard would give us a bunch more prayer, which will make it so that your Imp Soul is never draining your prayer down to 0. So it's definitely something you want to have. Also, in this guide, just to let you know, I am not including any of the extra bonuses that Guildmaster Tony gives you. So when I'm giving you the calculations later on, I am not including Guildmaster Tony. So if you have a Tony's, then it's just going to be higher than everything I said. And then we've got the Enriched Pontifex Shadow Ring, which mine is overcharged, even though it doesn't say that, which is, I really feel like Jagex should make it say that. I don't know why they don't. But the Enriched Pontifex Shadow Ring, you don't actually have to have this equipped if you have it overpowered. I just have it in here just to show you guys that you should use it. So it is a very good thing to add, so that way your time sprites will stay in spot longer, which is really nice for AFK, or, you know, just being a little bit more chill with it. But you can just wear something else like Luck of the Dwarves or whatever you want to here if you already have it overcharged. And then we've got our material manuals, high spec monocles, and tarpaulin sheets. You want to be running all three of these. I am not running the XP boost one because I'm 200 million, but if you are not 200 million, you can use the XP boost one as well. The tarpaulin sheet is not required if you are planning to use flow state, but in this method I'm showing you this one without flow state because with no flow state you get a ton more materials, and since we are aiming for the money, that is what we want to be getting, is a lot more materials. But you can go whichever route you want to do, and I'm going to show you calculations for both. The Archaeology journal is actually not really required. You could actually just put this in the pocket, or sorry, wrong thing. It goes in the wrong pocket, so you can't put it in the pocket. But this is really nice to have in here for a teleport, which you don't actually have to have because of this teleport. So you know what? Scratch that. You actually don't need this journal at all. But I have a habit of bringing it, so that's why it's in here. Elven Ritual Shard, already explained, make sure you get one of these. Auto Screener, 100% required if you are receiving soil. So make sure you have this if you're receiving soil. The binding contract, water fiend, as well as scrolls are something you really want to have here. I am not going to be including the water fiend extra bonuses and stuff into the basic calculations for this, but I will show you later on some extra calculations that include the water fiend. But these are really nice because when you have these, you get a lot more materials. You also get more artifacts. Cosmic Accumulator just gives you an extra boost to your sprite focus, which is once again really good to have. Karos Clue Carrier. I highly recommend bringing your carrier with you because you will be getting clues here, especially if you have Prosper on and you don't want those taking up your inventory space and blocking you from getting artifacts, so make sure you bring it. Besides that, Sign of the Porter. So Sign of the Porter. Definitely something you want to use. I mean, obviously, if you aren't using these, then you're going to be running the bank way too often. This method's not going to be very good. So I definitely recommend you have a lot of Sign of the Porters with your Grace of the Elves. So also, with Sign of the Porter, you can get these for free by pickpocketing Amlod. So if you are just stocking up for this method for a while, it is a really great idea to just teleport to Amlod every now and then do some pickpocketing and get these for free for the Sign of the Porter 4. You can also make Sign of the Porter 7s. They're not that expensive, definitely worth making. So I've had quite a few people tell me that they really enjoy when I show them every aspect of getting to the method and stuff like that. So just go ahead and skip this part if you know how to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys really quickly how to get to where we are going. So it is pretty easy. You're going to want to right click your Master Archaeologist outfit and teleport. But if you don't have that, then you can also teleport to Edgeville. We're going to be going to the Infernal Source. But before we go there, I want to show you something really quickly too. If you are not doing this, I highly recommend you start doing this. You're going to want to open up your banker, and then when you've got your banker opened, then you're going to want to go to presets and hit the little cog there and open up your presets. In your presets, you're going to want to make a preset of everything that you have in your inventory. That way you don't ever have to go back in here and grab it all again. Once you go and do this method for a little while, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff in your inventory, and then this way you can just simply open up your bank, click 1, and then everything is reset. It's pretty nice. If you go here, let's say that we used all these, we used a bunch of these, whatever, and then I just click 1, and then boom, hey look, now it's all back. So it's really useful to making a much more low effort way of doing any kind of money making method and skilling stuff. So make sure you are doing that for your archaeology outfit. Now we're going to go ahead and teleport to the Infernal Source, which is number 3 on our Master Archaeology outfit. If you already have the Master Archaeology outfit, then you probably already know that this is something you're going to want to do. Also too, I should probably have mentioned the fact you should be wearing the Archaeology cape. That is probably a no-brainer though, but yeah, there, add that to your gear. Now we're going to want to go ahead and head over to the entrance. Then when we get to the entrance, we're going to want to go to the number 1 Star Lodge Cellar. And then once we get down to the Star Lodge Cellar, we're going to run right over here to these spots right here. This is the Lodge Bar Storage. Now, if you click on Survey on this, you're going to see it's going to give you Hookah Pipe and Opulent Wine Goblet. So these are what we are going to be gathering up, and those are what's going to give us a ridiculous, I mean absolutely absurd amount of money. Once we have gathered up a bunch of these, the hookah pipes and the wine goblets, we're going to go ahead and restore them. As you can see right here, it takes about 30 materials for each one of them to restore. Now, while you are gathering these artifacts, you're going to be getting a little over half of those, or about half of those, depending on your bonuses and buffs and everything, worth of the materials. So you're going to end up having to buy about half the materials required in order to restore these, but it still ends up being a very high profit. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be disassembling them. And the reason why is because if you look on this chart right here, you can see how much it costs in order for you to restore them worth of materials, which we can cut in half because we are going to be gathering about half of those. Now keep in mind, if you're using flow state, like I mentioned before, you get less materials, so this might be a little bit more costly to restore them. But whether you're buying every single material or you are gathering all the materials, it is still going to be profit either way. And you can see on the far right of this chart right here, it shows you how much profit you will get per artifact you're disassembling. Now, in order to make the money back from that, when we open up our invention material thing here and we scroll all the way down, we'll see the different things we got from disassembling these. So if we go ahead and we disassemble these, like the hook pipe, you see you get historics, classics, historics. So you get mostly historics and you get some classics as well. So down here, you can see all of our different classics and our historics. What we're going to be doing with those is we're going to be making those into the crates. And then we can sell those crates on the Grand Exchange, and that is what that chart was showing as far as how much money you'll be making per restoration and then disassembly. Now, selling those crates is the way to make just pure profit from doing this, but it's also nice because if you are doing this and you want to get some of the components for yourself, this is a great way to get base, plated, and some other things. And then also too, the historics and classics and everything are things that you will use on your own to make like gizmos and stuff. So if you want to making your gizmos free, basically, then you can just come and gather these and disassemble them and use them yourself rather than selling them off. But you'll eventually have too many of them, and then selling them off is going to be the way to go. Let's go ahead and run through the numbers though really quick to see how much this makes per hour. So if you have no Tony's Matic and you are using just like all the basic buffs, so I'm not including anything from Tony's, I'm not including any extras from Waterfiend, and I'm not including Flow State, you're going to be getting 60 artifacts per hour. Now that is including having maxed out Archaeology, so if you do not maxed out Archaeology, then you will get maybe a little bit less than that, but it's going to be about 60 artifacts per hour. If you are doing 60 artifacts per hour and you are buying roughly half of the materials, and then that means you're not using Flow State once again, and then you are using those different buffs like the soil extra buff, the material extra buff like you should be, then you're going to be making about 225,000 profit per artifact, depending on which artifacts you get and stuff like that. And that's going to be about 13.5 million profit per hour, which is absolutely crazy for how much effort this requires. And then this one is a lot more difficult to calculate because we don't know exactly how many extras you'll get. But if you are using Flow State, you are buying the extra materials, and you are using Tony's Matic, and you are using the Waterfiend, all that stuff. And once again, we don't know exactly how many extras you'll get, but let's just say in theory, you're able to get 80 artifacts per hour, which is pretty realistic because Flow State gives you 20% more precision. And then the other ones give you the bonuses. That will make you about 80 per hour, which means that your profit could be up to a maximum of 18 million coins per hour. But I would say more realistically something over 15 million because it's really, really hard to calculate how much you'll be making to an exact. Now, I don't want to promise people 18 million and then they don't make 18 million, but I would say it's going to be over 15 million profit per hour if you're doing that. So overall, this is a really, really fantastic method. I would highly recommend this for anybody who just wants a super chill way to make a ton of money per hour. If you're AFKing this for 10 hours a day, now that sounds like a lot, but there are actually a lot of people in RuneScape that do AFK for 10 hours a day. Like especially if they work from home or something, then you can clear over 150 million gold per day by just AFKing this. It's super, super relaxed and chill. Now, something else I want to mention though, if you are not chasing the time sprites, then you can expect both those numbers to go down because the time sprite chasing does give you a lot more of the materials and artifacts per hour. So keep that in mind. You will still make a pretty killer amount of money though if you're not chasing time sprites. I tested it myself and the difference was not really that big. So just expect to get some less materials and stuff like that, but it's still absolutely fantastic amount. The amount of materials you're going to get per hour are going to vary depending on your luck, your XP, your current archaeology level, your gear, all that kind of stuff, but you can expect over 1,000 materials per hour. That is once again very difficult to calculate because it really depends on what you're wearing. Anyway, guys, I really hope this money-making method helps you out. This is a super good money-making method for training on an alt. If you had, let's say, I'm just going to throw this out there because I know some people have a crazy amount of alts, but if you had, let's say, 4 alt accounts and then your main is doing something else, like, I don't know, just power training, like actually training good XP things, because the XP per hour here is about 60k per hour, maybe a little bit more than 60k per hour. It's not really that great of XP, but it's really, really fantastic for alts. So if you are training on some alts doing this, then you can expect to be able to get 60 million coins per hour at top efficiency, which means a 10-hour day of doing that would be 600 million gold per day on 4 alts, which is absolutely crazy. It literally pays for all their bonds on their own in one day, which is pretty nuts. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.